Uh, we'll start with the Wukong game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so after champ select, you see the enemy uh, team camp, and what do you think about every matchup, every lane? How do you see them? How do you like maybe how our laners answered your question? What's gonna happen on top lane? What's gonna happen on bot lane? What's gonna happen on mid lane?
Mm. Okay. So my opinion is for top lane matchup, I would say probably Yorick can't get the push, but he can like manage the lane okay, I
Mm-hmm.
would say. But he would won't have a push and prior most of the game.
Yeah, yeah.
So we
Until
need to
level 6, yeah, he won't get prio.
yeah. So probably we need to be wary as a team that Queen after 6 can be all over the map
Mm-hmm.
because of her mobility spell.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, what I would say for my matchup is I think I win this, to be honest. It's a
Okay.
pretty okay matchup for Wukong.
What is like the thing about Wukong? Like how does your champion work with like levels? What do you need to get to be strong, or when you're stronger than
I
him?
would say uh, it's I'm getting to learn the jump. I don't have that much of experience on it,
Mm-hmm.
but uh, I would say it's a champion that it's pretty level 6 dependent,
Yeah,
pretty ult reliant,
that's
I
right.
would say.
That's right. Very similar to Nocturne.
Yeah,
So the
and
early
I would
game
say
is.
also that you need to be really good in using the Qs with your and also the Q resets with your R
Yeah,
and
yeah.
using the W uh, in the right way, I would say.
Yeah, exactly. I think
So
that
you need to be really patient to hold off to when using your W, I would say.
yeah, your
The
W
same
is
goes
the most
with
important one.
E, but I feel like not that much.
Mm-hmm.
But the most important thing I would say is R and Q usage.
Okay, okay. I
Uh,
think that the main part to think about during Wukong gameplay is the W, and
mhm,
uh, like in solo queue when you like not played that much for the team, people tend to max E second, but I believe that like when you really play with the team, uh, maxing W second is very good, and if you look on other junglers, they do that a lot. So
mm,
also maybe try it a bit. How you see it, because the
yeah,
cooldown is way lower, and it
I
makes
wanted
the gameplay much
to
easier.
tr- I wanted to try this, but I keep forgetting and I go maxing out of I don't know.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was used to maxing it, but I wanted to try this because I saw people doing it
Mm-hmm.
and was wondering if it's good or not. But I will try this a bit more. As
So
for mid lane, okay, keep
uh,
going. Sorry.
overall, like you said, the Wukong has no setup before level 6, right? Uh, so
Yeah,
when we
the
will be looking
only
on other matchups, also we have to really make sure to include that information, so like your
Mhm.
decision making is like good. Okay, now let's talk about meat. Like, what do you think?
Sorry. Repeat again. I was a bit
What do you
zoned.
think about mid lane? Let's come back to that.
Mid lane, I would say pre 6. I would say is a bit rough for Olivia.
Hmm.
in terms of clearing the wave. But after 6, I would say it will be even state lane. If maybe so a bit more favored to. Actually, no, I think it's pretty even lane, I would say,
Yeah,
if we do
it
not
is. It is
include the
pretty even.
junglers.
Like there should be nothing like happening actually. There is like a ping pong game that Anivia will push the wave first, and Shui will just
Mhm.
push it in like few seconds. So there is a prio from Anivia lane after level 6 and after like a bit of items for mana, but overall this prio is not like a big one. So uh, the question is, do you have any setup from the Anivia to do something around mid lane before level
Mm,
6?
before level 6, yeah, I could have a wall queue,
Mm-hmm.
but it's pretty micro dependent on the player who plays Anivia to set me up.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's totally on if Anivia can land a good WQ for me to get in range to use my combo or scare him off to take his flash.
yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay, now the most important one. What do you think about bot lane? What did you like ask Lace and Philip what they said about bot lane? How will it look?
Actually, I don't remember.
Okay, so what do you think will happen in bot lane? Like, how does the lane work
Mm,
in that scenario?
I would say both engages can be. Hmm, I actually don't know, but I feel like it's even again. And after 6, I would say that actually I think with jungle presence as well, it depends to who presses the buttons better.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. But overall, there should be nothing happening like in terms of like kill pressure because Alistar always disengages Leona, and Jinx can stall the lane and then just scale and outrange the Kai'Sa. But after level 6, it might be rough for Jinx to play because there is more engage from the other side. That's why she also got the cleanse. But overall, before level 6, I don't think that there is any option to kill the enemy. With the jungle as well. So after level 6, you might look for something because you have another source of engage from your ultimate. But before that, I don't really think that you can do anything about it. So why do we like do this whole thing? Because now it's also the time for you to choose the pathing that you have, and like you need to have that information. Of course, you don't have like 5 minutes to do that in the game, but this needs to be like very automatic for you to do, and this needs to happen like in a few seconds, and also after the draft if you're playing with the team, like you need to know what to expect on the lanes and how they see the lanes and how they can maybe do something, because sometimes the lane in theory can, like for example, be pushed, but if you really try and you will invest the resources like mana or health, then you can get the prio, you can get the push. So now the question is, what are the reasons to path somewhere? And not only the first path, but overall, what are the reasons that you choose one way or another? What do you think?
I think this game revolves around Jinx.
Mm-hmm.
So Jinx and Jinx getting a setup will win us the fight. That's what I feel like. So I choose to play like top to bot, and I would say it also and another key factor would be Anivia being getting out of an even lane state in mid lane. So she could provide some zoning with her R and the walls and stuff like that.
Yeah,
As
so
for Yorick, uh, I think he will just exist on a side lane and look for TPs to help us out. Or just keep updating us with the queen position on the game, trying to hold her on the side, something like that.
Mhm. After level 6, what Yorick should be doing is having as much prior as possible so the queen is not able to roam.
Mhm.
And that's also a thing to consider, like to defend him, because uh, this is the first thing, the playing with the strong carry champ to get the lead, to get the comfortable position for this champion. But the second option is defending someone uh, that is like vulnerable for like ganks or maybe vulnerable for the matchup. And this is also a thing to consider, even though sometimes you don't want to play with the tank or you don't want to play with the Yorick here. But at the same time, the question is, can you do something in the bot lane, and what will this give to your team? Because maybe giving a little bit more attention to Yorick so he's not having problems on the lane can help the entire game to look better, and then like he will be able to hold the queen better and like do the stuff. Uh,
Okay.
what is like also another one? What do you think?
Mm,
This is like a bit off meta right now on the jungle.
actually, nothing comes up to
Okay,
my
so this is of meta because of like the whole structure of jungle comps right now and the EXP gains, gold gains. But that's why we don't play those champs. But in like other metas, we also can choose the pathing to get yourself as a jungler kills or maybe better position to feed yourself. And
Mhm.
of course here uh, and in team play, you won't really like focus about this, but also like keep in mind that there is something like this. And also the fourth one, I think we can just mention it, that it's just uh, like you play with the strong side, but you don't really do anything about strong side. You just have more space to play on this side of the map. You so you not really need to do something on the bot lane, but maybe you want to get the crab. If you're playing with like some very strong early game junglers like Nafiri, you might have to, you might want to invade, uh,
Mm.
and like especially when there is like other champs that are like strong, maybe Viego, maybe Lee Sin, that are like able to punish some junglers. So overall, those are like four things to consider, like during uh, your decision making about your first pathing. But overall, every single time when you choose the pathing from one side to side uh, during the game, because you will do that like multiple times, like this is always in your mind. What do I want to do? Uh, and is it really possible? Because here, as an example, what happened here? Uh, we will have you buffing bot lane. So
Mhm.
the question is, what will you get from this? Well, or do you want to like defend the bot lane? Not really, because like bot lane will be fine. Like there should be nothing happening. You've got Alistar that is like a super disengage. So the question is, what is your thinking here? Do you want to get the crab? Do you want to get better position on the map? Uh, why don't you choose? Why didn't you choose to play to the Yorick to maybe secure him a bit more?
Because I wanted to secure bot crab, I would say,
Okay, okay.
and be on the strong side of the map, like Jinx.
Okay, I
That was
understand
my
that.
thought.
Uh, so like when when you choose like the pathing, also
Mhm.
like as well, you should really inform about this before the game, to be honest, because
Mhm.
sometimes on the top lane, for example, you might want to change the runes. If you will be left alone totally, maybe he will choose some more aggressive runes to maybe play for the gank or play to for the 2v2 fight on the top lane. So this is something that you like in a competitive environment. You need to like inform your laners what you will do, even like the first clear, even before the game, so they are able to make choices about their runes and about their first item. Because as well, sometimes you buy the shield, sometimes you buy the blade. Okay, so now here comes the gank, and like how do you see it? How what needs to happen here?
And even needs to wall and queue away in
Yeah,
order for me to get in the range.
it doesn't happen.
Doesn't happen
And
already.
now you see this corner. Ideally, you you click as you didn't know where he started. Like you can assume that he started here, uh, but
Mhm.
you don't exactly know that because like this was like the last position that you like saw him, but he could have run here and do some other pathing. But overall, you should look like this is a good habit to have, just to look on the camera here and
Mhm.
see what buff he has, and click tabulator and see how many. Oh yeah, you did it. See how many creeps he has, so you're able to track his jungle. Here is a good decision to take the free blue buff. I mean, not very free because your top lane died, but it's better to take something than nothing. Uh, and here you do the raptors, and now you will have to make some decisions. And I wanna hear why you choose to leave that area, not to go on your other camps. Because as you said, you wanted to play for bot lane, but at the same time
Mm.
here you will leave them, uh, and we know about Skarner here. The question is, can you really fight him, or you just told your teammate that you're not able to trade when he's uh,
So I would say bot lane couldn't be there because the wave is in a really awkward space on bot, as I saw on the map. And also, Anivia was low on mana and needed to take a base. So in my mind, I said, let's. I told them to be careful, and I will do a cross. I also informed them that he may do grab and go into my jungle. And I decided to go for topside to take topside scuttle. And if he goes for bot play, I will take his raptors, which I did.
okay, now again you should click the tab, because like you see him going from
Mhm.
here, but you don't really know, and like you cannot expect him to do the cracks here.
Mhm.
So it's better to like this is just for jungle. First good habit is to always check and track the enemy jungle, how many comps they have done, and what the buffs do they have. But another big hobby that you have to like develop during the game is looking on the side, because on the lanes, because you again are making some decisions, of course, like this is not here, so like the only path you can do is like going here.
Mhm.
But overall, to be able to, especially when you'll be playing like Jarvan, not really a jungler that has to get the level 6 to really do something on the map,
Mhm.
then you have to like you need this information about lanes and how does the wave look, because sometimes you might have to like find a good opening, good timing, and drop some like comps. Because now you just go, you look on your thing. There is a top lane wave. Okay, this is pushing to you. Yorick will come there. There is nothing to do, or maybe there is something to do. Maybe this will how many creeps, how fast this will push. Maybe this will stay here, and you can punish the queen that will try to push it because like this is the role about jungle that you need to find openings and if you really like if you want to be very good you create the openings you create the tiny bit of windows to go there and like this one comp will not change your game but if you play the percentage game and if like everything in league is a percentage game if you choose the right decisions that like here nothing can happen you just do your comps and like you full clear again on bot lane there will be nothing happening you won't get level 6 from this okay you might go to the dragon and this is also the timing if you want to go on dragon now you should call it but overall what you need to do is create some openings to really do something because otherwise you'll be just full clearing
Mm-hmm.
and we don't really want that because like of course we we can forgive Wukong Nocturne for doing this because you can't really do much about gongs before level 6 but when you will be playing other characters sometimes you can gong before level 6 and you have the right resources to to do the gong to create
Mm-hmm.
some plays and then you need to see the lanes and how they are what happens on bot lane right now what is the wave is this neutral wave or is it pushing we can't see oh we didn't really see exactly what was the wave state but yeah sometimes you look but sometimes you look only when there is a champion and like it's also very important like you see that on top lane there is a big wave and it didn't crush there is Kona here he's pretty much like the the analogy for the first clear so he's just going there and you're just going there and the question is what will happen again right now the top lane is the only thing that could happen on top lane is a dive but like they don't have the right timing for it so but you see that as I called it here, and this is like the jungle is about predicting. If you cannot predict the movements of an enemy with like high percentage, then you won't be able to gank. You won't be able to create the plays because here is like a very obvious timing that okay I'm the draw of one I can gank very early on. Maybe we can punish her flash. Maybe you can do something and this is the timing to look on top lane and try some plays because then she walks up and she walks up pretty high as you can see
Mm.
so then you just farm which is not bad because as we said we like to have the level 6 uh, some plays on mid lane and the question is could you be there and the answer is yes you could drop the thing
Yeah.
but like again you don't really see what is happening on mid lane but we can see that mana is low health is low she might need some help Alistar has the timing to like she is recalling Alistar is calming opening around mid lane so now needs to like someone needs to communicate what do you want to do this in most cases, it should be mid laner who calls like what he needs. But if he doesn't, this is your role to spot like the thing you need to do. And now after using your W, you're very far away from mid lane. You see the mid lane that is pretty much fucked, and you could be there. You could be right here,
Mm-hmm.
and do the play with the Alistar, and the way would be fucked.
Yeah.
That's the like result of not looking on the map and not really thinking what you want to do. And do you remember if you already called the dragon? What was the plan around this timer?
I won't say I don't remember what I called out, to be honest. That's the
Okay,
only fact part.
now you'll be reacting to the play, and
But
here will be uh like the question is you flash here and use your W like that. So the question is, did you have to flash here? Like from here, you can easily get the W and EQ off. You don't need to flash at all. So you flash E. The W is like for show off. I don't know. If you want to like shorten the distance like this, then hold your W. If he flashes, then you are able to follow up him. Or when he will stun you, fear you, then you are able to follow up after that. But here you used everything and you're useless. So this is maybe about like you told me that you had you don't have much experience on the Wukong.
yeah, it's a bit
Uh,
of champion master here, I would say, yeah.
so this is like something to look for that you will see during this game that almost every W that you do doesn't make much sense. And especially if you consider that the cooldown is that high and like it's so valuable, and in few times you will die because of the bad usage of the W, even though the play was good, but the W usage was wrong, and then your champion is a paper, because the main thing about Wukong and why he's like he can be very very difficult to kill is the W that can dodge the most important ability and just punish enemy, and that is also like why some of the abilities are so strong, why the Mel W is so strong, why the Fiora W is so strong, because if you time it correctly and you use it correctly, then it totally nullifies the damage, and it can nullify like a lot of damage if it's the correct spell. And here as well, if you nullify the whole combo from Wukong, then he won't have any damage. This champion, like all of the mages, work like this. They have their rotations of spells, and if they don't have the spells on cooldown, then they are not able to deal damage. So that's also hard to like, for example, for Syndra to do damage per second in the fight, because she is more of a burst character. Again, W for nothing. You here you didn't know if they will fight it or not. Uh, of course, the prior from bot lane is big, but
Actually, okay,
yeah, yeah. Well,
go on. No, no, never mind. I thought I saw scanner earlier, but it was
yeah,
after
we see
I.
him here, but like there is no reason to use the W on Drake. Uh, right now, you after the Drake, you would like to sometimes leave the area, leave the pit and do something. And here is again, you've got the grubs, and you need to know what you want to do about them. If you drop them, you need to like inform your team. You need to communicate with them. Of course, it's hard to do because Yorick is recalling, but as well Anivia is recalling. So I think the obvious call is to not really do much about them. And the
Actually,
bot,
after this game of Wukong, I experimented a bit with using combos with this champion, and I came into conclusion that the best bread and butter combo for Wukong is get in range to EQ, then pop R. When you get Q reset, you W and Q the target that you wanna pop, and after that you R again, something like that. I would say.
Yeah, I
Don't know if you
mean,
agree.
I'm not really focused on the combos. This is like pretty natural thing, and you'll develop it with the playing. But the main things to think about again is the W, because what happens here as well, you, most of your Ws in this game are for like for show off, like for nothing. Here you can
Mhm.
just EQ ult, give Anivia time to maybe joining you, and then you will have your W to follow up him if he fears you, if he
Mm.
walks away, if he slows you, if he like flashes. And here you
Yeah.
use W for nothing, and he
I
fears
used it
you.
for DP. I've used it for DPS, but I should have known that I didn't have the damage to kill him. So instead, it was a better option to do what you said, EQ R. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, yeah. The the DPS from the W, like, also the very important thing about jungle is you need to understand your function, not only about jungle, about this game. And when you play some kind of character, you need to know your value, you need to know your function, because without that you're not really able to make proper decisions. And on solo queue, people doesn't care, the people don't care about this, like they don't give a fuck. But here it is super important, because you can have an Ornn on top lane, and it doesn't matter if he will be behind. It doesn't matter if he will uh, have like 50 creeps less, because his whole champion works on like tank stats, that he is able to outscale the enemy with his stats. He's able to outscale the enemy with the passive. And if you really calculate the value of his passive, then suddenly his lane on 15 minutes can be like
Mm.
1000, 2000 behind, but then suddenly he gets to level 15, and the whole lead is not there, because you've got two upgrades, and one upgrade is worth 10,000 gold of like stats. You've got your passive that boosts your resist, and overall, as a tank, you've got a big value, because like, okay, Yorick on Silent is strong, but Yorick in teamfight is not that strong, and you would much rather have the Ornn in the fight than Yorick. And you don't pick Yorick to have him in the fight. You pick Yorick to have good lane and good side lane then, and to really punish enemy with the tempo. And so sometimes it's the fact that they have to choose to either lose the entire wave, or to join the fight with some champion. So if the function of many junglers that you will play is either engage, disengage, or overall helping your team, your carries, to play the game, uh,
Mhm.
help them to click. Because if they are not able to click, then you won't win the game. It just in competitive, it just works like this. If your carry, if your mid laner is not able to deal damage, then you will not win. You can be fucking phenomenal on the Wukong. You can deal a lot of damage, but it will not matter at all in this environment, because in most cases the graph of like damage is AD carry needs to be like very very high. Mid lane needs to be like a bit like close to him, and depends if you have the damage top laner or not. Then the top laner is pretty much either the same as mid laner, or the same as jungle. Uh, and your damage is not very valuable. Your damage isn't. This is not about damage. This is about the space that you give your teammates, because they have, this is made and ADC. They have much more resources. Their champions are created to deal damage. So you will have to do like 10 times more to do the same amount of damage. So it doesn't like make sense to do that work. It's their job to do that.
Mhm.
So you just allow them to do the job. And if you really
Mhm.
understand that you're not a carry, you're not a, this is not a solo queue. You will have to trust your teammates that they will do the job, and after you, like, every teammate will realize that, then you're really able to play as a team. because here sometimes it's just a play from someone, but no one really cares about like Jinx dealing damage, Anivia having good position, and position is as well very important for team fighting. And in many cases, it will be you as an engager who will take and choose the position, and you really need to think as a mid laner or AD carry, or ask them what do they want to like have, because some people will some champs will like a very open space. Sometimes you want a narrow thing. Sometimes you want to have angles uh, to engage, and you need to choose and decide whether it's a good option or not. So this is also
Mhm.
something to communicate with your team, but this is also on you. Like you will not be able to communicate about every single engage, and in many cases it just has to be your decision and your call, and the whole team needs to follow up. Even though you don't need to be in-game leader, you don't need to call every single play on the map. But if you're an engager, then it 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 just doesn't matter if you like to talk or not. You need to communicate about your engage, uh,
Mhm.
because then other teammates are able to really do something. And it's not only like when you click your EQ alt, but before, like I'm looking for something, I'm looking for AD carry. And also when we had the tabulator on, then when what you need to think of, and you have that time during the game, is what, like in the 5v5, what is your function, what you need to do. Because if you do not plan, and if you do not look for patterns that you will follow, like for example, oh, Kesa has no E, Israel has no E, they have no Q on Leon or ultimate, whatever. But you need to look for patterns, what needs to be done for you to engage or for your team to win. Maybe you need to go on enemy AD carry. Maybe, for example, when you have Jinx, you don't have to go on an enemy AD carry. You can just peel for your Jinx, and Jinx will kill them all. So this needs to be like done in this type of timer, because soon the team fights will be there. And here is a very good play, but again, the execution is just off, because you would just allow them to walk up from here to like here without
Mhm.
doing anything, uh, and that's why and that's why we want to know what our champion does. Again, your W for nothing, but if
I
you
should
have
have went in earlier.
exactly, if you have your ultimate with two rotations, you can two times ultimate. Then if you use it early on, let's come back a bit. You could just go as fast as possible, actually, without pressing your W. Just instantly. You don't even have to EQ. Sometimes if you want them to have no reaction like time possible, then just ult instantly. Then you can press W to like come in the same direction as they are going, and just be like in front of them. So you just go E here, ultimate. They are knocked up. Then you press W, you walk up here, and you press another ultimate, and Alistar is able to follow up, and your team is able to follow up. But here you just give them a lot of time to walk away. Now this would be the second rotation of your ultimate, so they would not be here. They would be like here, and Alistar is already here. So then you don't need to use your flash, and maybe you kill her actually, because here you only killed. No, you didn't. Yeah, killed Skarner. But I think that Leona and Keisa is for sure killable here if you play that correctly.
Yeah.
So this is like only about your champion, but this will happen in other champions. You just need to
Yeah.
like this is micro decision making. It's
Mhm.
it's not something that you can plan ahead of like 5 minutes. This is like something that you need to think about it now. How you want this fight to look, what you need to do. And if you don't have plan, then you just walk like this, and you will look like you don't have idea what to do. Uh, and yeah, now it looks cool, but it's like the timing is just off, and it looks close, but actually they should be both dead. Uh,
Mm.
or maybe Leona would flush out, but Keisa is surely dead here. Because like Alistar could follow up. And there's also a thing that if you're playing with another engager, you always think about the follow-up engager. Like either you are the follow-up or he is the follow-up, but you need to think about him because he's like your fucking mate, your brother in the game. Because with Enchanter, you don't really give a fuck if you're the only engage. But with another engage, you need to also think who needs to engage first because in here, I would much rather have Alistar in the teamfight, who engages first and takes the whole burst on him in his ultimate and just presses WQ alt, and you're going on the second tempo, so you're able to
Mhm.
survive more. Because as you will see in the game as well, there will be a fight or maybe two fights when you will just go and suddenly you're one-shotted because you are the first one. You went on the first tempo when you are not very strong, you're not very tanky. And Alistar, even though he is a support, has lower level, but his champion is designed to be tanky, and his champion is designed to survive a lot. And like
Mhm.
Alistar is the most tanky support that is in the game. Like his ultimate is super broken, and that's why he's so good on going on first tempo and engaging first. So this is also something that you need to communicate with your other engage. Who wants to go first, or maybe it doesn't matter, and just the other one needs to follow up. And here is again the dragon setup, and the plan just needs to be there. I don't know what were the cons, of course, but the plan just needs to already be there, like way before the dragon spawns. Uh, and sometimes, like here, you went to clear the jungle, and the level 8 is cool. But for example, do you really need to do the wolves as well? Like if you were not recalling before, the wolves will not change anything here, but maybe you could work already on the vision or uh, be with another engager and do something. Of course, here this scenario, like you won't do anything on like bot lane is pushed, but in other example, you have to adopt and you have to be very reactive. And this one camp when you're not recalling. Uh, will not change nothing at all. The previous one actually like level up you, but overall this is like unnecessary. And here you can really take that. It doesn't really matter. Of course, I'd much rather have you on like on mid lane to secure the place, but like he's like we don't see anything. They have Queen and Anivia is pushing the wave, and they could easily collapse on her. And you're doing wolves during Dragon Timer, so this is also obvious time for them to look for something and try to get her. Of course, this this won't happen all the time, but we are not calling and not talking about like one specific scenario. We are talking about like overall what you should do and what can be done. We don't know how enemy will play, but if the percentage is here that they can do that and this would be good, then you need to do something about it and you need to think about it because otherwise your game will look just very flippy. And if you really look on other jungles that like in pro play, they sometimes waste a lot of time doing nothing. And if you really have the POV, sometimes their gameplay is just funny because they just run around and stand in the bush for 1 minute and do nothing really. But the thing is that they do something. The fact that nothing happened there is like is a thing. And this is also sometimes like a chess game when like you know the enemy jungler is here, but he knows that you are here. So if you go on mid lane, then he will counter gank, so he's not able to go, but you're still standing here in case because this is a percentage game. Like he can go there or not. Maybe the percentage is like 70% that he will go because they have a strong mid jungle matchup and they have the setup for mid lane, like Lissandra plus Lee Sin. But if the percentage is off, then maybe if this is like 30% for him going there, maybe you can do something else on the map and say, fuck it, he should not go on mid lane. Mid lane, be careful. I'm going to do something on bot lane, or I'm going to secure bot lane. And that's also why I'm talking a lot about looking at the lanes, because as you can see, like we're watching like for 4 minutes, and you're not really looking at the lanes at all. And this is like very important that you have the correct timer with your lanes, and we call it the synchronization with the map, that your camps are on the good side of the map, that you're on the map and you're free to go on the right timings, where when your bot lane is pushing or when the enemy bot lane is pushing, and you can do something. The same goes with mid lane, and you really need to time those things with each other, because otherwise the gameplay just looks like you can not do anything, because every time you're on the map, the the plays are over, because you go bot lane here, and now you path bot lane, or okay, you path bot lane, but suddenly your bot lane is not able to do anything, or they are recalling, and like here you're just, of course this is gonna be the play because they overstayed, but this is on enemy that really like recalled here on the ward. But if they would just back off more, then this play is not even here. This is based on enemies uh, mistake, but of course it's good because it was reactive. It wasn't like planned, and you're planning to do a play on the enemy mistake. So, for example, a lot of times people like do some cheeky ganks because you say, "Oh, he will go in," but of course this is a percentage game. But you have to judge if this is a correct play, and if an enemy were better, what would happen here? Because that's also why we like to play against better people, because they punish your mistakes, and they punish and they don't do that many mistakes. So even sometimes when you're doing the play for their mistakes and they are not doing them, then like your play in most of the time won't work, and you'll be behind because of the tempo, blah blah blah. So, like, one habit to really do something about your gameplay is look more on the lanes and really understand what is happening there, how the waves work, what will happen with the wave, if this will be pushed, and really think about the synchronization with the map. Think about what to do. Like here, your synchronization on the top lane. Or this is not the play, the other play with the pushed lane on top lane. That you see that the lane will be pushed, but you don't do anything about it. I can't really find the play. Uh, but oh, this is like, I don't know, we missed it, but oh no, this is the one. Sorry. This is also like, if you don't have the vision on like roaming champion, this is a big case for mid laners. Then making any play is very risky, and making or even stupid, because like if there is a queen that we can cheat the tempo, then like doing any play that is not fast enough, or when you don't have the vision on her. And when did you have the vision on her? You didn't have at all. So like doing any play here when your top lane is pushed or is on the lane and the queen is not here also is like, you see that it is like not ideal.
Hmm.
And if you really think about it, like, not even talking about the mechanics here, because we don't want to talk about mechanics too much, because like this is something that sometimes happens here, and like maybe it won't happen again. But this is an obvious timer when you can't really do can't do anything on the map, because the enemy top laner is not there, and also considering that the enemy top laner is a queen, roaming champion, then like doing this is like 2 times more stupid. And like I don't think that you like this is not a thing that you saw the top lane that he's not there and you decided to go and do the play. No, you just didn't like include that in the plan. So it's not like you're stupid, but you are just careless for this thing.
Mhm.
Of course, on competitive playing, I don't know. I don't think we'll see the queen that much. Okay, let's maybe now skip a bit and uh, get some fights. And here is the first one. Like you need to have a plan, what you want to do in the fight, and what is your role. Uh, and again, the engage thing, like what you want to do. Here you want to play for the steal, I guess. It worked, and like you could just leave it. Anivia ult could be better and just cover the whole area, and maybe they would not walk up and kill the Jinx as well. But overall, the steal is alright. But the question is, did you like? Was it called or not? If it was called that you play for the steal, then okay. If you played for the fight, then then you play for the fight. And doing something like this when you play for the fight and you go to steal the dragon and just die with doing nothing, then like it's not good. If you play for the fight, go for the thing that you need to do. So in here, going for the backlane, I guess. But if you
Okay.
played for the steal, yes. And here you got like right now your top lane is quite strong, and as you could see, like the Yorick is paying off. He pushed the whole turret, and even though he might be a bit behind, also like click the tab more and more because in not only for tracking jungle but also tracking the enemy items, so you're able to judge if you're like if you can fight or not. This is also very important, and I really like to click tab a lot. And during the times when you're just walking here and not doing anything, you can just have your tabulator on and just analyze what is going on here. And sometimes you spot that, oh, maybe we need anti here. Maybe our super is building something off. Maybe I should call for something. Maybe more control words. We don't have any. Maybe enemy has a power spike, big item. Maybe enemy has an item that changes something like Seeker's Armguard, Zonias, Banshees. Sometimes it's even the shoes that are like movement speed shoes, and you have to like include that during your chase. And if you make that connection, that oh you're going after someone with swiftness shoes, maybe you won't catch them, and you don't even have to check their stats and see that oh they are 50 movement speed faster. You can have that connection build up doing like nothing, because you could just walk during the jungle and have your tabulator on many times. So this is like have your tabulator but also look at the lanes. And sometimes it's better to lose a bit of time on the clear, like for example 5 seconds on the clear, and have the vision on the enemy or on the lanes and do something. Here this I don't know if you call that or if someone else called that, uh, but if you and you should like you should track the enemy summoners, but of course not every time you will know it. So if you don't know it, then just assume that they have it. So if Keita has ultimate and barrier, so even though she's 900 HP, but her barrier is like almost 300, her ult is also 300, and suddenly she is super tanky, and you're not able to kill her. So this is also
Yeah.
something to think about. And as a jungler, and
Mhm.
especially as a Jarvan, I think that you have that like tracking the enemy flash and tracking what enemy can do about your ultimate, because Jarvan ultimate when there is no dashes is a hard CC, and like this is like a broken ability, and in many cases you can just EQR and you can't do anything about it. So tracking enemy summoners, of course, lays do it here and type it on the chat, so you know that the AD carry has no flash. But that's also maybe why you want to punish her, but still she's got other resources to do something. But tracking the enemy summoners is also very valuable to do during the game. So not only the tabulator, not only looking at the lanes to make proper decisions, but also tracking the summoners so you're able to punish. And that's also what should be happening in the calls during laning phase. If there is a solo action of like getting the flash from the enemy, it should be called. And like I, of course, as a jungler, it's your role to make sure that you punish this flash or not having that flash and all. But also as a laner, it's very important to like remind our junglers, because it's not like when you see how many things the jungler needs to do. Like you need to look here, there, analyze everything, get the correct buffing, and that's also why I like to keep it simple. But the very good junglers can do some cheeky uh, and very silly sometimes buffings just to get the right opening for the right timing. So you just cheat the timing with like you don't do the whole jungle here, and they expect you to do the whole jungle and be here on the timer, so they will place the word and you can't do anything. So sometimes it's better to do one camp here, do here, and cheat the tempo a bit, cheat the timer, cheat the word a bit, and maybe get the opening, even though you might lose this. But for example, if you know that enemy path is buffing here as well, then if you get this and get all of this, then if you do the play and you recall, he can't really punish you there, because from from like, let's say, from here to here is much longer than recalling and going here with the home guard. So this is also something to look for. And on jungle, I say that you can be very creative with the pathings, and this is your role to really shock the enemy if you really want to do something. And if your champion is able to do something on Wukong, and when your champion is possible to do something, then you can really look for this. Because of course here on Wukong, you if you don't have setup on top lane, bot lane, and probably on mid lane, then you can't really do anything. So farming for level 6 is your goal, but we are talking as a jungler, as a jungle role. So there are champions that can do more, and this will be very valuable to like sometimes very much skip something just to get the correct timing, just to get on the right timing. And that's why we also look on the ways, because if you, for example, do the whole clear here and you go top lane, and you see that enemy wave is pushing, or he didn't manage to get the crush on the turret and he's there frozen, then fuck all those camps. If you're like a Jarvan and you're able to gank, just go get the flash. The same goes with mid lane. Sometimes ask your mid laner as an Azir. Uh, this is a typical play. Like Azir just ults and enemy, you just go on the lane. You can even go with the lane, and Azir just ults and enemy has to respect it and flash it. And then you have 5 minutes to punish every single on every single shuffle. You can punish it, or every single time you have like Jarvan ult that enemy cannot do anything about, or Sejuani ult, or anything Vi ult. Yes. So like this is something to really think about.
Mhm.
And and yeah, that's just a lot of things to think about.
Yeah,
but
I get your points.
but like you don't have to do all these on the next game that you play, but just get a little bit, like get yourself a habit with like clicking tabulator or tracking the enemy in jungle camps. uh, then get the more and more looking at the lanes, and just include some parts of the things that I say here in your game. And I know that you do a lot of like analyzing, a lot of like reviewing, and that's super important to have that time on reviews. So then your thinking is gonna be much faster and much better, and very automatical in like in a good way, because then you won't have to think about your matchup on jungle because you know it. You don't have to think about matchup on bot lane because you know it, and like you instantly know what will happen. And sometimes, even though in theory something can happen, but if you if you will see on the on solo queue on competitive, when there are lots of and lots of repetition on the other rows, then you are able to see how this really works in practice. Because okay, maybe they should get the prio, but in reality most of the players will not get the prio because they are fucking awful. And like this happens a lot because like Caitlyn Lux should get the prio in every matchup, but if they are not good enough and they don't know what to do, then sometimes even like a matchup versus Engager can fuck them and they won't have prio because they got hooked. They played bad. They missed every spell, and enemy just traded HP, and you like as a Lux or Caitlyn, you're not able to walk up for the wave, and that is a common thing because players on those ranks are are going to be like not great, are not going to be clean. They are in many cases very bad. So you need to like respect what can happen and be very reactive. And this is also something that I really look for during like serious. When you play free games, then you really can see the patterns. You can see how enemy jungle plays, how the top lane plays. When that's a very cool thing. What really changed my gameplay when I was playing Thresh on support and I was analyzing the movement of every player because I wanted to land every single hook, and I was just observing how they dodge, in which direction, how they walk, how they click. And if you really think about it, then you can do it very easily and do it very automatically in every game. And then when I came back for mid lane, then suddenly on Zoe I was landing every single bubble because I was analyzing the movement of enemy. And I have never done this before. And if you have the ability to play, I mean, if you have the occasion to play the free game or fight game maybe one day,
Mhm.
then you are able to see the patterns of enemy. Like everyone here, everyone in pro play as well have patterns, and you can look for them if an enemy bot lane plays aggressively. And that is also what should be like. Everyone should be communicating about this. If an enemy pushes a lot, overstays a lot, then you're able to adapt your gameplay, even though maybe for like objective level of playing this game is not the best, but we are playing the percentage game, and if the percentage is on for you because you played 2 games versus them or even more, or maybe this is your opponent that you play a lot against, then you are
Mhm.
able to adapt your gameplay and sometimes adapt even the draft. That oh, maybe they play a lot of aggressive picks, then maybe we should draft something more safe. And the same with your gameplay. If they do something stupid, if they do something that can be punished, if this is this thing that they do, the pattern is like punishable. If this has a weak point, then you should really talk about this. And and that's also like we are watching the screams, and we are watching like the 3 games that happened one after another. So you should at this point be able to tell a lot about your enemies. And if you're not able to talk about your enemies after like 3 games, then what were you doing on the first two? Because like this is all connected. This is like in team play and on competitive, all the games are connected. All the things are connected. Your entire team is connected, and you need to think as the whole. It's not solo queue anymore. You don't play for you. You don't play for one person that is like cool. That is your friend. That is your duo. You play for the team here, and every play that is not for the team will be weird. And that's also what happened in there, because like this looks from like we don't have the comms, but without the comms, it really looks like the solo queue gameplay. Your team is doing something. You're doing the Raptors. You're just recalling. I don't give a fuck about my team. Oh fuck. What? 20. I don't give a fuck about my team. They are doing something. I don't care. Like this is not solo queue, and sometimes you will lose a tempo on the Raptors on something, and it doesn't matter for you. You are like a domestic here. You're a person who helped the team, helped the leader to get the uh, like the lead. And here, okay, you can start it, but look at the bottom. What's happening here? How is the wave right now? What is happening? Why is Kesa walking like this? Like if Kesa walks like this, then like surely someone has to be there, and maybe you can now collapse, especially like maybe Anivia has an egg, and you'll be there on time. uh Alistar is on the same side of the map, so you're able to punish her. And like you doing the Raptors here, especially like you see the few things. You see the teleport, you see he's spawning right here. So if they will go here as well, then this fight will be long. This will take a bit of time. And Anivia, of course, has the egg. Whoa. And like this can like your presence here can change something. Maybe it won't, but does it really matter that you are right now going mid lane and will be getting the mid lane wave? It's not so that you just do and go the correct thing, because okay, for example, this play would be like a awful play and you should not be there, but you are playing as a team, and if there is a call, then you're not going away from this. You if you lose as a team. You don't lose as a four people and one person that didn't listen to the call. And like also another like part of the game that you just need to, and in solo queue as well, like even the call can be bad, but if you really like put an effort and if you really commit, then sometimes it can work, because a lot of calls and a lot of team fights are very mechanical based, and sometimes of course percentages off or on, but you really need to like judge this. And if like the fight can have like has a 40% chance of winning if you play this correctly, then sometimes maybe like take the chance, because if you won't be there, then the chance is 0%, and suddenly your team just will all die. But with you,
Mm.
it could work. And here as like what your presence change in that? Oh, I'll get the turret. What goal does for the Wukong? Like nothing. You like you won't deal damage. You won't be tanky. This is your not job. It's not your job. You again talking about the functions. It's not your job to do something here. And even though maybe your presence on the bottom wouldn't change anything, but you don't know that. And that's also how the team play should work. That you are somewhere when you are needed. The same goes like during the laning phase, when someone needs you, when the wave is like pushed, and or let's say the wave is here frozen and you need to help them. Sometimes there is a also very hard matchup on bot lane, on mid lane, on top lane, and you will just need to give them one timer, and you can one timer for recall. And sometimes it doesn't need to be like a gank. Sometimes it can be a play on other side of the map. Sometimes it can be some cheesy play of invading the jungle. And for example, you are a jungle that can really leave the jungle and maybe do something stupid here. They will collapse on you, but you're able to escape, and you gave one opportunity for your top lane to push the wave and recall, or just to recall. Because sometimes when the matchup is fucking bad, then you will need uh as a laner just a timer to not get the good recall, but to get any type of like decent, any type of like neutral recall, so you're able to not lose entire wave or two waves or three plates. So sometimes it's just a little bit of a timer to just recall, lose a few like minions, and it doesn't matter, because you will survive another few minutes on the lane, or your lane now is good because you just needed one recall or something. And this is also also something that should be mentioned in like champ select as well, like very early in the game. What's gonna happen on the lane? And here there are no very hard lanes, but for example on top lane, when there will be a matchup versus like very punishable range versus melee, when there is a Vayne or something, then you can cheat a bit, especially like why we're talking about reasons why why you path somewhere. And like sometimes you choose also something because it's easier to play the game. It's easier to get the space or something. And for example, on top lane, sometimes there is a tank that has very easy CC. The same goes with bot lane. Sometimes there is a Leona that is very good with setuping the gong, or Nautilus. But with like Enchanter, you're not really able to do anything on the bot lane. So even on top lane, it's good to look for those matchups because like Ornn versus Vayne, she she can be fucked here if she messes up, or if like there will be a good knockup if you have a good jungler. For example, you're the Sejuani and you're just able to with red buff just walk up because she's very far pushing, and you just able to click auto on her and just stun her, then follow up with Ornn's knockup and W, and like you have as as a jungler, you have a lot of damage because like every single champion on early game has some sort of damage, and with red buff, with all your skill shots, every champion will, even Soraka and jungle would do a lot of damage with the whole rotation of spells and auto attacks with red buff, even like Soraka. So like just be aware that sometimes if the lane like this on bot lane, like there's nothing happening there, they should not get like any type of KO'd or like anything, then you can take the top lane and just do something here, even though like it won't change the game, it won't change the outcome of the game. Like the gold on top lane won't change anything, the gold on jungle won't change anything, but it's better, and it's like something more than nothing on bot lane, because if the like here on bot lane nothing really happened. You even then gave those and like you chose to go there, and you were just asked for 5 minutes. Of course, Wukong, we were talking about this, but as well, like even with Wukong, sometimes you can look for something, especially with other setup. Here, I'm not criticizing this scenario, mm, but you know, like we are talking about the role.
Yeah, I get your points.
One last thing that I just remind myself of uh,
Mhm.
is the potion. Like the potion is very very solid buy when it's like start of the game. So I really recommend getting this because it's a 120 health value, so it's almost a ruby crystal. So it's almost like you'd have 450 gold more, and especially get it when you are expecting to path in the same direction, and you might have a fight on like side of the map, one side of the map. So a potion is just a good habit to have, because this one potion won't change like the your economic state, but it can change the outcome of the fight, because if used correctly, if you use it even like before the fight, if you're expecting this and you get the whole value of the potion, then the 120 health value is like huge. So especially on like Jarvan, on the ganking junglers, your gold value is not that important, and the fact that you can fight more, the fact that you have more health, and maybe you can execute some more plays is much more valuable than this 50 gold that you will have later on. Of course, on like Karthus, uh, like other farming junglers,
Okay,
it can make a difference, the 50 gold, let's say, but overall, it's a good habit to have it, yeah.
all right, all right.